and do not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? This is Coach Matt here again with my main man Tyler on the Live by the 3 Sports Podcast on the Evening Rush Network. Ty, how you been, man? How was your holidays? How's everything been going?
Everything been going pretty good. How you been?
Bank of America's hunting me down. They keep calling. They want they want that money after it was an expensive holiday season, but you know that's what it's about, you know, but have fun with the fam and but I'm glad to be back kicking it with you, man, after a little break for the holidays, but we're back and we're ready to do it again. So let's jump right in. But first, Tyler, let's tell the people where they can find us to check out the show and continue to support on social media and streaming platforms to catch Live by the 3.
You can catch us on Instagram at Live by the 3 Sports Podcast.
Please follow.
Yeah, please follow. We need follow. We need donations. We need hats. We need food. Everything. You can follow us on all major streaming services. We on Fire Stick, Spotify. We on Apple too, right?
Yeah.
We everywhere.
We're everywhere. And please download that the Evening Rush Network app for on either phone platform, Google phones, Apple phones. You can get the Evening Rush Network app and see all the great programming that we have on the channel, on the network. Lots of different topics, subject, music. So whatever you fancy, you can catch something to appeal to you on the Evening Rush Network. So glad to be part of that family. And let's jump right in, man. So it's been a busy sports season as usual. You know, in the wintertime, football's picking up. College football season just ended this past weekend with the championship game, which was a little lopsided as we a lot lopsided. Yeah. But you know what? The one thing, the score was 65-7 with Georgia over TCU, and Georgia's second title in a row. So it's looking like, you know, Georgia's the hot team right now. 2 national championships in a row. Alabama, was running with it for a long time. Nick Saban had a powerhouse program, but it looks like Georgia is stepping up in a big way, and that's 2 in a row for them. And they're looking like a powerhouse. So it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds going forward. If Alabama can get back in that mix, you had Clemson a few years ago, but they didn't make it this year. So a little bit of a change into the guard. And you had the Final Four teams. The Final Four teams was it was Georgia, it was TCU, was Michigan, and Ohio State, right? So you only had one SEC team in this year, 2 Big Ten teams, and TCU from the Big 12. It's interesting. But what do you think? You think Alabama run is over? You think Georgia's going to keep that title? I think
it's going to be. I think they're going to repeat.
Okay.
Interesting. Well, the coach is from Alabama. I think he was a defensive.
He was an assistant. Yeah, assistant at Alabama.
But he got pedigree. He got the pedigree. What do you think? You think TCU deserved to be in the championship game based off their performance?
I mean, they had a great season, right? They were 13-1 going into the championship game. I mean, it's easy to say after the game is over that they didn't deserve to be there. But if you have that, if you have a record and then they won, right? They it's not like they won. They beat it was a Final Four teams, and they beat it was Michigan they beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they beat Michigan to get to the championship game. So in my mind, they deserve to be there. The blowout is what it is. I don't know exactly what the dynamic was, why they got blown out like that, but
it's too much.
It's just too much, right? Too much heat.
Much for them. You could tell it was just 2 different levels.
But let me ask this though. Now, maybe if Georgia play Alabama or whoever, but is it a foregone conclusion? Say if Michigan had beaten TCU, is it a foregone conclusion that Georgia wouldn't have beat them like that? Is that an automatic? Or
they probably would have had it'd probably been a better game against Ohio State.
Then why? Okay, so if that's the wisdom, then why couldn't Michigan beat TCU though?
I don't know. That I can't. I mean,
Yeah,
you have to call Harbaugh up and let him know, like, hey, like I don't know.
Yeah. That's
But,
the thing, right? That's why you that's why you play. That's why you flip the coin and get out there on the field, because you just don't know.
You know, it's almost like them things, when you're playing in certain tournaments and you're like, yo, this is the championship game.
Right. Yeah.
This is the championship game.
Even if it's not the
Yeah.
championship game, that semifinal game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I just always go back to the kids, right? Like, so I just look at it like, listen, if they had a great season and they played that way and they earned that spot, then yeah, they deserve to be there. And then if they get blown, it's almost like they put themselves in a position to get blown out. Yeah, I mean, but they deserve that moment, right? And the opportunity at least, and they deserve the opportunity. That is one of the issues that I have had with college football, is that I don't feel like it's a fair system if you pretty much predetermine before the season, based on preseason rankings or strength or whatever, these things, that these are the people that deserve to play for a national championship. And regardless of what another team does, they don't deserve to play. Like, I don't believe in that. I believe in competition. Like, get out there on the field and play and see what happens. Because if you went just by off of name recognition or whatever, then you wouldn't think that TCU would beat Michigan, but they did. So, you get, give the kids an opportunity to play, and whatever happens after that. That's how I feel.
Do you think that the kids would have rather played in a bowl where it was a little more competitive and won, opposed to getting blown out in a national championship?
Depends on the kid. I mean, at the end of the day, they can, yes, the score was what it was, but they got an opportunity to play for the national championship, and nobody can take that away from them. You know what I mean? Like, they can say, I played in the national championship game with everybody watching. Well, they said the ratings are down.
Yeah, it was bad, man.
They said but the thing is that I don't.
The quarterback, I believe, is 25 years old.
For TCU?
That's what.
Okay.
They say he's the same age as Lamar Jackson. which is nuts. Crazy.
Okay.
It's right off the back, like, you playing with you don't got no chance.
Yeah. So talking about, teams deserving to be there, it was officially announced a couple of weeks ago that now the college football playoff is definitely going to move. It's all confirmed and signed and done deal that it's going to move up to 12 teams now in the 24 season. So not this upcoming season, but the following year, the playoff is going to go up to 12 teams being eligible for the playoff. The top 4 seeds are going to have a bye, and then 5 through 12 will play, a bracket style, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 will play on that, the winners of those games. So what's your feeling on that, opening it up to more teams, and possibility of, obviously it's not the NCAA tournament for basketball where you have 68 teams and it was 64. It's not as many, but opening it up to more teams, to possibly, maybe get some upsets and some crazy things happen. What's your feeling on that? Opening it up.
That was probably made so Alabama won't miss again.
More SEC teams in. Yeah.
And so it kind of waters down the regular season, because you can have 2 losses and still be a national champion. You know what I'm saying? It's not as hard as it was in the past.
Yeah.
It's going to, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and I know that they say that football isn't the same as basketball because the teams aren't as evenly matched. And you got, the separation levels are a little bit greater. But I always go back to, give the kids an opportunity to play and let's see what happens on the field. Like, don't assume before the game starts, oh, well, this team can't compete with this other team and they don't belong. Like, I don't believe in that. If a team has a good record all year, they're undefeated, even if they come from a smaller conference, give them a chance to see what happens. Like they deserve to be there. Let it happen on the field. And you never know. A coach can do a great job and come up with a great game plan that keeps it close, and some crazy thing happens. Somebody makes a field goal, or there's a fumble, or like it's a game. Like let it happen. Let it unfold. Or if it's a blowout, it's a blowout. I mean, okay, but there's worse things in the world. Give the kids an opportunity to play. give the kids an opportunity to play. So, and the other thing you mentioned was bowl games, and you talked about these other bowl games, and would you rather play in a bowl game that's not the championship, but it's competitive versus playing in the national championship game? Now, but what are your thoughts on so this time of year when the non-championship bowl games, you have the phenomenon of, and I don't know if it happens even with the kids that are playing for the national championship. Are there kids that sit out from that? But, what's your take on the phenomenon of kids, college football players not playing in bowl games overall? Let's just keep it general, besides whether it's a national championship or just another bowl. What is your take on kids not playing for that? How do you feel about that?
They not playing to get ready for the draft?
Well, I guess technically they could be getting ready for the draft, but more so not risking injury by playing in a game, after the regular season is over, because they don't want to hurt their draft status. So, especially, okay, so let's take it from, excuse me. It's not in the championship playoff. It's a bowl game that's outside of that. And now it's like, okay,
it's like the Popeyes Bowl or something like that.
Right. And my team is still live. We made a bowl game, but we're not playing for the national championship. But people are saying I potentially could be a first round pick, and I don't want to play in that. Yeah, you agree with that, or you don't agree with it?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, you agree with it. So
what about you?
I see it from both sides. For me as a coach, I look at it like, if the season's not over, and these guys all year talking about, oh, these are my brothers, and this, that, and the third, and I'm with them to the end, and then now all of a sudden the narrative changes to, well, yeah, but I don't want to play with y'all anymore because I'm scared to get hurt, even though we have another opportunity to play together. We have an opportunity to win a bowl, even if it's not a national championship, and there's something to be said for that. I do get it from the financial standpoint, and there have been instances of guys that have played in those games and gotten hurt, and it affected their draft status. So I get it. So to me, it's complex. I'm sitting the fence on this one. I will say,
pick a side. Pick a side of the fence. It's coach. You as a coach, you playing in. I'm the player.
Mm-hmm.
For my financial situation, my whole family situation. That I'm projected to be a top 10 pick. But we playing in this bowl that really don't. It brings in revenue for the school, but it really ain't really moving me left or right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, listen, coach, I don't want to play. I want to protect. How would you feel about that?
I wouldn't be happy about it, because obviously you're one of my better players. If you're projected to get drafted like that, obviously I can't force you to play. So if that's the decision you make, I'm not going to kick you out the office, curse you. I'm not going to do all of that. But yeah, I'm not going to be happy about it. Of course not.
Would you allow me on the field with my jersey on?
That's a great question. That is a great question, man. Because
what would you allow me?
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, to me, here's the thing. Are you part of the team or are you not? You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it might be the best thing for you, but it's like, if you're deciding like, okay, but my status is more important than what's going on in the team, didn't you already remove yourself from the team? Like, it's like, why do you get to have both things? Like, you get to travel with the team. We're going to be staying in this hotel and do all of these different things that are around the game. Then now you're on the field, and I saw a couple of kids getting interviewed while the game, so you're getting interviewed while the game is going on and your teammates are out there playing. Like, to me, I'm kind of a person where, yeah, I'm like, either you're all the way in or you're all the way out. That's kind of how I operate. Like, you're either with us or you're not. And again, it doesn't have to be a hard feelings like, yo, I'm never going to talk to you ever again. But in the reality, if you're removing yourself from this and saying, well, I have more important things that are more important to me, okay, then that's the decision you made. Like, I don't like people that try to, they basically have their cake and eat it too. Like, you want all the stuff that's coming with being a part of the team for this bowl experience, but you don't want to play because of your draft status. So my thing is like, okay, if that's the decision you're making, then you removed yourself. So okay, you're a professional now, right? It's a decision you're making, and you're making it for professional reasons. Then you should separate yourself. Go be a pro. You're you're in that world now. You're no longer a college football player.
That's so let me paint a scenario. So we having this conversation, right?
Right.
So you know what, Coach? You're right. You know what? I'm gonna suit up, right? Suit up.
No.
Hold on.
Okay. Listen.
Tear my ACL.
Yep.
Draft is out the window. Fast forward 3 years. Someone else in the same situation. You have the same speech, and they're like, you know what, Coach? No, I'm not doing it because such and such did this, and that.
Sure.
I think I'm gonna sit it out. Would your position change because someone actually tried it and you saw that it didn't work? Would your position change?
Potentially, right? But at the same time, like I wouldn't see the difference. And the only reason I was going to interrupt you, I would never have that conversation with them on the front end. If they came into my office and said, Coach, I'm thinking what to me, this is how I look at it. If you're not all the way, especially in a sport like football, but even for basketball, if you're mentally not all the way there, you shouldn't play. You know what I mean? Like if you're already thinking, oh, I'm scared to get hurt, or, I don't know if I want to play, because like once you're in that type of thinking, for me, I think that's when bad things are going to happen. I think if you're thinking like that, that's when it's a good chance you are going to get hurt now, because you're not all the way mentally dialed into what's going on. So once if we're even
all the time.
What's that?
You dial in all the time as a coach. Every game you don't wake up and be like, man, I don't feel like.
But I'm not out there, so I'm not going to get hurt.
No, but I'm being dialed in.
No, but I'm saying it more from a player safe, not from a performance thing. I'm saying it from a safety standpoint. Like I have a situation right now with a kid on my team who's just coming back from injury, and he was just like, I kind of do want to play, but I'm kind of nervous. And I told him that if you're not ready mentally to play, you shouldn't be out there. Like that. That's just how, because I feel like if you're second guessing yourself and like that's when the potential for you to get hurt comes in, if you're not, 100% confident in what's going on out there. That's my opinion. So if a kid is already on the fence about, oh, I don't know if I should do this and this and the third, and what about this? And because now they're not. I just don't think that's a good situation.
So like, let's just say, let me just throw a little. Your wife come up to you one day, is like, I'm not sure about us anymore. You're gonna be like, all right, you gotta go.
No. But see,
negotiating there.
I'm not to play. No, because and I'm not going to try to convince you to play. And the reason why is just for the reason why you said, because now I convince you to play and then you get hurt. That's now that guilt and just everything that comes with it. Yeah, that's too much. I don't want that. I don't want that. So yeah, I'm not. No, if you say you don't want to play, or you have, listen, man. Okay, go ahead. That's do it. Just because, like I said, I don't want to be in that mix of trying to force you out there or convince you or twist your arm or even just oh, come on, man. No, I'm not doing.
So then you say, all right, Coach, well, can I just get on the field? You just want to say no? Just straight no?
See, and this is maybe this is me sitting on the fence, but this is the nuance. If you come to me and say, Coach, I'm not sure, I'm, being honest, I do want to play, but I am a little bit nervous of my draft status and that type of thing. And, I know, but I'm about the team and, and I just want to be there for my boys and all of that. Like, if you come to me like that, I might take it a little bit differently as somebody just walking straight into my office saying, yo, man, I made a business decision. I ain't playing. My agent already told me not to put, if you've already gone down that road and now you're telling me like, look, I'm out, and you come at, it's business, this, that, and the third, but then try to go back to, yeah, but I still want to go on the trip and be on the field. And like, now I'm looking at you different because now it's
deal with the backlash.
What's that?
You could deal with the backlash.
Which backlash?
When they be like, yo, why are you not supporting your team? You be like, listen, my coach just told me because I'm not playing, so I might as well just sit in the stands with everybody else. But
the way I look at it, though, these guys, they're the ones doing it. They're the ones going on social media and making these posts about, so if that's how you're operating, then don't try to make me to be out the bad guy. This is the decision you're making, and you and your family, or you and your agent. You know what I'm saying? So y'all are making decisions without me. So why don't come to me after the fact and then expect me to, cookie cutter it for you to fit into this equation. Now, like, no, you make decisions without me. So you can't expect for me to now base my decisions around the decisions that if I'm included. Now, again, it's not a power thing necessarily, but if I'm included in this conversation and we sit down and say, okay, what's the best thing for you? What's the best thing for the team? What's the best thing for the program? And we all come to a consensus and agree, whether it's to my benefit or not, but at least if I'm included in it and understand where we're going with all of this, I might feel a little bit better at it, as opposed to, you and your family and your agent, y'all make this decision, y'all go on social media and y'all make these proclamations and this is what we're doing, and then come back and expect me to get on board with just however y'all decided to make a decision. No.
So your thing is the inclusion part. You just want to be included.
I just think out of respect for what we've been doing and what we've done so far, like, there's loyalty and there's appreciation and all of that. Like, don't treat me like a transaction. Does that make sense? Like, because and again, is college athletics, when there's money involved and all that, is it transactional at times? Absolutely. But and here's the other piece of that. If your coach treated you like that, cool. Then you treat him like that. I believe, okay, if that's how they treated you, everything was transactional. There was no relationship. He never really did anything for you, or he only did things for you because you were a good player, and say he did things for you, but then he treats the other kids on the team that aren't as good like crap. So if there's transactional stuff going on and then you act transactional, then I don't think anybody can say anything. But if you have a relationship with this person, if y'all have a positive relationship, y'all have been through some things together, and y'all have, come together on decisions before and all of that, then going forward, it's not an expectation, but I just feel like, if we have a relationship, then treat me like we have a relationship. If I haven't treated you transactionally, please don't treat me transactionally. That's how I feel.
That's fair.
That, you know what I mean? Like that. And I take pride in not treating the kids that I coach and are part of my program like that. So if they treat you like that, it stings. And at the end of the day, I'm a human being. Mm-hmm. So I might get in my feelings a little bit if somebody you know what I mean? I feel like just did that to me. So, I would like to think at points I can be the bigger man, but at the end of the day, people are human. So that's my thing. Don't treat people transactionally and then expect for them to treat you with love afterwards. Like, let's keep it consistent across the board. So now you're saying so if you were a player in that situation, you would do the same thing. Like, if we're not playing for the chip, I'm out.
Yeah, what we playing for? Like, what am I playing for? I mean, if it's a national championship, that's a little different, because that's a once in a lifetime, type of thing. You don't get that chance. But if I'm just playing for, like, I don't know, the Alamo Bowl or the,
Tostitos Bowl,
Chick-fil-A Bowl or something like that. Like, what we doing?
All right. So now let's flip it though. It's not you, it's a teammate. So the same question you asked me, how are you feeling if one of your teammates, your brother, all that stuff that guys say, with you to the end, that, this, that, and the third, do you want him on the field with you?
I mean, of course I do. I wouldn't be upset.
No. I'm saying on the sideline.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Because I know what it's like. When I used to play overseas, there used to be some players who didn't get paid. They'd be like, "Yo, I'm not playing."
Right.
I'm not playing. It's like, they owe me 3 weeks. I'm not playing.
Right.
And they just show the bench. I can't be mad at them because shit, I wouldn't play either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, nah, that's messed up. We need you out there. They're like, yeah, I understand. However,
right,
I'm missing some G's. You know what
checks.
I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, I think it's harder as a teammate to be like, nah, you can't be on the sideline, because they all trying to get to the same goal.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're doing that, there people look up to you. They understand, like, you're a leader, and they understand, like, you ain't doing this just not to do it. You do it because at any given moment it could be over.
That's true.
And then what? We'll get back together in 20 years, union and everything, and like, I don't know. I wouldn't be upset with it. I'd be like, all right, cool. I'd be like, you know what? Shit, I wouldn't play either. You shouldn't play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, right, but shouldn't play, but then, like, you're out there putting your life on the line and all of those things, and you're out there getting tackled and getting hit and all that stuff like that. but he getting the same hotel room that you're getting. He getting the same meal money. He getting the same banquet. You know what I mean?
But
like
he earned it. He earned it. I mean, look. If he does not play, then that provides opportunity for somebody else to shine.
Right. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody else could go in and shit. They could become a first round pick off of one game. You never know.
True.
So
That's
it could go bullshit, but I wouldn't be because you want your brothers to do well. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're just straight up just jealous or envious, you're like, yo, that's messed up. Why he ain't?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I was him, I would play, but you're not him, one.
Mm-hmm.
And two, you don't know how that works.
That's true. That's fair.
I would be alright with it. I'd be,
Okay.
But if he's being like, ass about it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, then that, that might be a little different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, more likely, you know how the game is. Because everybody got the same goal. Everybody trying to get to the top. So you can't be mad at for someone to do that.
That's true. That's a nice little segue though, because we can jump right into the NFL wild card, which is starting this weekend, and we could go in order. But speaking of guys not playing, and
let's talk about the Jets first, and then when we come back from the break, we could do the NFL. It's going to be quick. We only got like 3 minutes, so we can talk about the Jets real quick. So how you feel?
So again, I'm trying to be take an above ground view, right? Like, if you told me at the beginning of the season, would you be happy with the Jets winning 7 or 8 games and playing meaningful games all the way into December, pretty much to the last game of the season, where they had a chance to make the playoffs, would you be happy with that result? I would have said yes. I would have said, yeah, we doubled our win total from the year before. We had showed a lot of promise with some good young players. We had we were playing meaningful games all the way up until the last week of the season with a young team. Would I have been happy with that? Yeah. Was I disappointed with how it unfolded? Yeah, absolutely disappointed. But a lot of it was injury. I feel like if we had kept, and injuries happen all over, but the guys that we lost were the wrong guys to lose. And if in my heart of hearts, if those guys had kept playing, would we have been in? Yes, I believe that. So I'm not doom and gloom about the situation. We were a young team and we weren't built to be able to withstand the losses that we had, and we were still right there all the way to the end. So I think the future is bright. It is a little bit disappointing. They made a move yesterday where they fired they said it was a mutual parting of the ways with the offensive coordinator, who did have some issues throughout the year. So some changes were made. We'll see if it's for the best. They're going to look for another quarterback, it seems like, because nobody has a lot of faith in Zach Wilson right now. Can't say I blame him after the way he played this year. So there's going to be some changes. Hopefully they're the right ones. And but I do believe, we have a good chance to have the offensive rookie of the year and the defensive rookie of the year. And one of the guys who got hurt probably was he definitely was the forerunner for offensive player of the year rookie of the year when he got hurt. So we got 2 really good young players on offense, in addition to some other guys, good young players on defense. So we have a good nucleus. We have a good core. We got to shore some things up. But, overall, again, taking a step back, I'm not mad, slightly disappointed that, because we kind of got excited in the middle of the season. We had a chance, but it is what it is.
I just wanted to do this at this time just to get this out the way, because we get a 30-second break so you can regroup.
I can regroup. Right, because you decided, like, after I had like almost a week to get over it, you wanted to rip the wound back open.
Yeah, just get it out.
And then give me 30 seconds to get myself back.
Yeah.
That's how you feeling tonight. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Well, I mean, I read the owner said he was willing to pay top dollar for a QB. So
see,
maybe
and then
maybe Derek Carr.
That's who I think is probably. But then everybody that they list is an issue with, right? Derek Carr can't play in the cold weather, so they're saying Jimmy Garoppolo always hurt. Lamar Jackson. I was going to talk about that. Him not playing. We can jump into that after the break. Would I take Lamar Jackson? I would. I like him. Who else are they talking? They of course now. Oh yeah,
Baker Mayfield.
No.
You want to take Baker?
No.
What about Trevor Lawrence? If he came available?
Oh yeah, of course, but yeah, we can't get Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, sure, I'll take
Right.
him. Yeah, but not Baker.
No.
Nah.
Not over
Garoppolo.
Wilson?
Who?
Over Zach
Russell.
Think about it. Let's go to break. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. Let's go to break.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we're going to halftime on the Live by the Three podcast, and we'll be back after this commercial break with the second half.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Chrissy, here to let you know that the Evening Rush Network now has an app. Yes, an app, you guys. So you can stay connected on the go and watch all your favorite podcast shows. You can download the app at Google Play Store or Apple iTunes. So spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, if you're looking to start a podcast and really don't know how, well, hit us up at the Evening Rush Network at gmail.com and inquire about time slots, pricings, and everything you may need to get started. We got you. Join the winning team, the Evening Rush Network. And also, download that app. What are you waiting for? Get to it. Now, here are our sponsors.
We are back. We're back. Tyler and Coach Matt back on Live by the Three Sports podcast on the Evening Rush Network. So we were talking some football before we got to the break. So clean to close this up a little bit. You know, the names that they're throwing, but see, even that comment, right? I saw the comment that Woody Johnson made today, like, "Oh, I'm willing to open up, to pay for it." That has nothing to do with it. There's still a salary cap. This isn't baseball where it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we want the best, we'll go pay Aaron Rodgers $50 million to come here and then keep the roster intact. Like, okay, you can do that. You can spend $50 million if Aaron Rodgers was to be able to, to become available. All right, but then that's still going to affect your salary cap. It's not just him making that comment about, yeah, I'm willing to pay for a top quarterback. Like, you can be willing to pay whatever you want. There's still a salary cap. So to me, that was kind of like a nothing comment. Like, it sounds good, right? It gets clicks, but at the end of the day, we still got a salary cap. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I mean, if we could get Aaron Rodgers, they're talking about maybe Brady. I don't know. You know what I mean? So yeah, Aaron Rodgers or
Brady.
That's just, this is just people talking, right? So, yeah, would I take Aaron Rodgers for a year? Yeah, sure. Would I take Brady for a year? Yeah, sure. The name's Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay.
I don't know
Derek,
how you do it.
Yeah, listen. Derek Carr, I think he's a solid quarterback. I think he's better than Zach Wilson. I think, he puts up good numbers. And I think, like I said, we do have young, skill position players that are good. And if he can get them the ball, I think our offense would be a lot better. And our defense is solid and pretty good. So yeah, I think he would make us a better team. Or can we win a Super Bowl with him? I don't know. Get in the playoffs? Yeah, I think so. Lamar Jackson, yeah, sure, why not? Now, but I don't know how that changes, right? Like, if you bring a Lamar Jackson in and then you have, good wide receivers and good running back, and on paper that sounds good, but how do you mesh all of that, with Lamar Jackson, who's not a pocket passer, and he's going to look to run himself. So now how does that affect the rest of the roster as far as when you got a really good running back and good wide receivers? How does that, now if you have a good offensive coordinator that can put it all together, sure, let's do it. You know what I mean? I'm with that.
What do you think about the firing of Lovie Smith?
Typical. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, the Texans have shown themselves to be a dysfunctional organization. So they did it last year, right? What was the guy's name? Casterly? Was that his name? Like, so they did it last year, and then they do it again. Like, they don't have a good roster. Did they pay him? Sure. And they gave him his money and his walking papers, and so can't feel bad for him necessarily. Was he set up to fail in a way? Probably, especially if they're tanking for whatever they're tanking for.
He went out like a boss.
Yeah. Listen, he's an OG.
You know what happened?
I didn't see. I saw that they fired him. I didn't see what he did. What he did.
You know what they had the. Oh God, work. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
They was losing.
Mm-hmm.
And they was playing for the number 1 pick.
Right.
And they scored.
Just because he probably knew he was getting fired, so he was just like,
and they won.
They won, right? So now they don't get the number 1. Now Did he know he was getting fired, and that's why he did it?
So.
Okay, all right. So then that was like an FU, a screw you to the. You're like, all right, that's how y'all gonna do me. So watch this, y'all not getting enough.
Yo, that's ill, right?
Listen, but he's been in the game for a long time. He's old, you know what I mean? And he might be like, look, I got my check, pay me my money, I'm good, you know. Listen, and that's how, you know, but it is a statement
that's like franchise
changing. It's franchise changing, yeah, for sure. Now I don't know who that guy is. You know, is there like a consensus number one guy? Like 2 years ago, it was Trevor Lawrence, right? Because that was the Jets. We were in a similar situation where we could have had the number one pick, and then we ended up beating the Rams, like I think the last game of the season, and that's what got us to the number 2 pick. And then it's now, you know, we lose out on Trevor Lawrence, and you know, so people bring that up all the time, especially this year, especially because Trevor Lawrence started to take that step, and now the Jaguars are in the playoffs, so everybody's like, oh yeah, you know, we had to win that game against the Rams 2 years ago, we could have had Trevor Lawrence, you know. So you know that it can be franchise changing. But is there a guy this year coming out that's like the consensus, like no brainer, you know, right? So
well, I mean, the quarterback from Georgia coming out,
what's Stetson some is that yeah, so you know, it'll be interesting. But let's talk about Lamar. So, you know, the Ravens, you know, they're one of the wild card teams, but you know, he says he's not ready. He says he's not playing, and you know, there's speculation on, is he really that hurt, or is it they put you know, he went into the season without a contract. They offered him something. Apparently, he thought it was way below his value, and so now, you know, nobody can tell, but he says he's not ready to be out there. Now, is it a situation where he's truly not ready to be out there? Is it a situation where I'm not really ready to be out there, but if my money was right, I would go. I would go.
No, listen, that's the same situation that we just talked about.
Yeah, exactly.
So you know, are you mad at him for that?
No, because he's a professional.
I don't know what that means. Why would you be mad?
Because before we were talking about college football.
Okay, so, he's a professional. You're in the playoffs. You don't want to play,
right?
For your money. What's the difference?
He is getting paid, but they had contract discussions.
Okay.
No. They had contract discussions. He went into now. Here's the thing. I don't know if it was good faith or whatever, but he wanted a new contract going into the season. They didn't get it done. He played. He played, right? So now it's like, okay, he did.
The college person played.
Right, but I'm saying that he went in without the contract. He could have held out and said, I'm not playing and all of that, but he did play. So now he had an injury. Now, I don't know how serious the injury is. Only he and the doctors or whatever know that. He took a chance and said, okay, I'll play without the contract. And then now he has an injury. So I don't think he should force himself to play if the Ravens aren't willing to take care of him. And then I did see that there was maybe one or two other guys on his team that I think a linebacker or maybe one other guy, whatever, that they did give contracts to, not the money that he would make because it's different positions, but they took care of that guy. So if I'm him, I'm like, okay, that's how y'all going to do me. Now, again, he may be good. He might be healthy enough to be out on the field, but if he has a lingering injury and not a steady contract situation, I can see him saying, well, y'all put me in this position, because if I was set with the contract, then maybe I would put myself out there because I know I'm good. But now y'all got me out here. I'm a little bit hurt. If I push myself, I could drop my value really low, and y'all didn't take care of me. So what are we talking about here? And the ball is in their court. They could give him the money that he deserves. He's, former MVP. Now from their perspective, maybe they don't want to invest in him. Maybe they're like, hey, look, you're a running quarterback and you're already banged up. We don't want to give you that type of bag. That could be their position. I don't really know. I don't know how hurt he is. I don't know what their position is. Obviously, they want him to play because they want to win the playoff game. But how bad do you really want it if you weren't willing to take care of the guy? You know what I mean? You can look at it both ways. How bad did you really want it if you weren't willing to take care of him?
So you're okay with him sitting out?
If he's hurt, but see, that's the thing is a lot of great because he's hurt.
What if he was just like, you know what? Nah, I'm not risking it.
That's a great question. My thing is, if he would have sat out at the beginning of the year, he would have been justified. If you play the whole season and then use the playoffs as a chip, like, okay, like, yeah, we did all of this, but now I'm going to hold up in the playoffs and he was healthy. That's, I could understand it. I don't know if you know what I mean? Like, again, to me, either you're 10 toes in or you're not. So that's how I kind of look at a lot of situations. If you're going to say, yes, I'm in, I'm going to do this, then to me, yes, you should go all the way with it. Once you agree that this is what I'm going to do and what we're going to do, then I do believe, yes, then you should go all the way through with it. Once you're in the midst of it and then backing out, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. But like I said, I think the dynamic does change because he got hurt. Mm-hmm. Now, again, to what degree, that, you know, that's anybody's guess. But yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. If you agree, go in. Now,
no. It's a tough position to be in because, you know, you're looking at 250 to 300 million probably at stake for someone that's not really invested in you. So
that's true. That's true.
So you put it on the wrist, put it on a line for what?
Right. I agree.
You know, I've been here however long I've been here, and I still got to prove to you what I can do.
I think this is his fourth or fifth year. Yeah.
I'm an MVP.
Yeah. Right. Won an MVP. But, you know, like I said, on the flip side, from the Ravens side of things, are they looking at the injury and saying, well, yeah, this is the reason why, you know, now, again, they didn't give him the contract on the front end before the season, which they could have. But now are they looking at it? Well, hey, look, yeah, I'm not giving you a $50 million contract. Yeah, you did win an MVP and you are one of the most dynamic players in the league and all that. But you're a running quarterback who people believe don't last long, right? So now you're already a little bit banged up. So now even though it was messed up that they didn't give him the contract to begin with, but now from their perspective, from a business side of things, are they justified? Because it's like, all right, yeah, it's starting to happen already. You're already banged up. So why would we give you $50 million a year? Which is bad, you know what I mean? And, you know, like you see my man from Buffalo, you know, you can, you know, that's why these dudes want to get paid, you know. Now that's an extreme example, you know, and it's great to see. I forget his last. No, his first name begins with a D, but last name Hamlin. But you know, I'm glad to see that he, you know, I think he got on the Bills. He got released yesterday, I believe, and he's, you know, got all his faculties, you know, upstairs from what it seems, and you know, the medical, you know, big shout out to the medical crew that day on the field, and then, you know, at the hospitals and his recovery.
And he's gonna get all his money too, so that's
yes, and they did right by him, as they should. You know, now again, he was a 6th round pick, so you know there's different type of money, but he's guaranteed
money, especially when you ain't supposed to get it.
Right, exactly. And if he can, you know, I don't know. You know, I don't know the recovery from that. I don't know if he would ever get cleared to play again, because now if they're just saying it wasn't if he obviously mentally and physically, if he can come back from that and it was just a freak thing. So it's not like a chronic thing, like with his heart or something like that, why it stopped. And it was just, he just got hit like that time and it caused this reaction. Can he continue to play? You know, and if he can, then, you know, so he has a guarantee and he can potentially continue to play if there's no long lasting effects from what happened. But, you know, I mean, football, man, it's, you know, it's dangerous, man. And like I said, I don't think that's why Lamar Jackson is holding out for that thing that happened, right? His is just, you know, knees, whatever. But, you know, that is an example of, yeah, that's why you do want to look out for your security, because in an instant, one play could change everything. For sure.
True. That's true.
It's a case in all sports, but football especially, man. Football especially. So So let's keep it going with the football. So even with that, so you got the Ravens. So let's start. We can start with that game. So you got the Ravens and the Bengals in Cincinnati. Obviously, Cincinnati's coming off that tough situation with the Buffalo game, but they have a home game in the wild card round, and you got the Ravens coming in looking like without Lamar Jackson. So who you like in that game?
I got the Bengals. Who you got?
Yeah, I would say that. Like I said, I think mentally they might be in a little difficult spot because of everything that happened. But at the same time, they're the better team and they're at home, and the Ravens aren't, coming in at full strength. So, yeah, I definitely see the Bengals advancing in that one. So that's a late game. So we'll go backwards. So that's a late game on Sunday. Sunday 4:30, you got the Giants at Minnesota. So
Minnesota.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, that's been your team all year. So I'm not going to call you a bandwagon guy because you've been talking about them early on. So, and they've been playing great, and people have said they're not like that, but they just keep winning. So, yep, they got a home game. Giants had a great season. You never say never. That's why you flip the coin. But I'm agreeing with you. I think the Vikings will take care of business in that first wild card round game. Then you got the Bills and the Dolphins, AFC East. It's two teams in. Bills and the Dolphins. So
Tua's not playing either, I don't believe.
Nah, he's not there now. They said he's still. Ooh, man, just saw non-sports related. Just saw Lisa Marie Presley dead at 54. That just came across my phone. Wow. Rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace for sure. But yeah, the Bills again still coming off an emotional situation, but obviously, that was a tough thing to go through. But I'm sure, my man being out of the hospital, and I'll go out on a limb and say he will probably be there on the sideline, and that will be very emotional for the whole fan base, the whole NFL, everybody to see him there, which I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to assume that he's going to be part of that game, just his recovery, which is an amazing story. So he deserves that, and it's definitely something that should be celebrated. So, but yeah, the Tua is not playing. They said he's still in the concussion protocol. Like, he's not out, he still can't pass the concussion test. So he, again, another example of why these guys, they need to get their money, man. Cause it could be over for him. Like I said, I'm not wishing that on him, but I mean, he's still, that happened, 3-4 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still in concussion protocol, so can't pass the test. So I'm in agreement with you on that. I got the Bills over the Dolphins in the Sunday 1:00 game. And we got Saturday night game, Chargers at the Jaguars. Jaguars got a home game because they won their division. They finished under 500, but they still got a home playoff game because they finished number 1 in their division. And they got the Chargers coming in. So who are you liking in that?
I like the Chargers.
Then going to upset. Okay.
You think that's an upset?
I mean, I get what you're saying. The Chargers are a better team, but they're playing, on the road. They got to, that's West Coast trip. Got travel to Jacksonville, and the Jaguars are playing. They're not a dominant team, but they are playing well. They're playing with some confidence, and they're a young team. Yeah, but I, so okay. So you're going you're gonna go with the Chargers. Just to be different, I'll go with Jacksonville in that game. Just to throw a monkey wrench in, and then we got the Seahawks and the 49ers Saturday 4:30. Who do you like with that?
49ers.
49ers at home over the Seahawks. Yeah.
I think 49ers might win it all.
Think so?
I think so.
Think they got it? Okay.
They got it.
Okay. Over the Eagles. You like them better than the Eagles?
The defense is insane, man.
Okay.
And Patrick is, I don't know.
Okay. All right. So now, and then we now, so they put this wild card game on a Monday night. So we got Monday Night Football wild card game. So if you're saying the 49ers are going to win it all, that means you're betting against your boy, because the Buccaneers got a home game against the Cowboys.
Yeah, they're going to beat the Cowboys.
Okay, and then you think that you don't have no faith you're missing out?
I do have faith, but the way they've been playing lately and the way the 49ers been playing, it's going to be hard, man.
Your faith is shaking.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. They're going to have to. It's going to be hard.
But isn't that what he does? This is his time of year, right?
It is his time of the year. It is the time of the year.
I mean,
Well, I'll retract that. I'm gonna go on my boys. I'll retract. 49ers are good though. They good. Like if they lost to them, I'll be like, all right, cool.
You would be okay with it
because they tough. Anybody else, I'd be like, nah.
And then Brady retires and he become a 49ers fan.
Who?
You.
No. They just playing well, man.
Then you'll go back to the Patriots.
Yeah, I'll go back.
Okay. All right. So we got everybody winning. So you got so now you got the Buccaneers over the Cowboys?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we went everybody with the home teams except you got the Chargers over the Jaguars. So you're going home teams across. Okay. All right. So all right. So we got about 10 minutes left, so we can jump into a little bit of the NBA stuff. We got some All-Star voting coming up. The fans have been voting, so that stuff's starting to roll in for the starters of the NBA All-Star game coming up in about a month or so from now, right? It's usually around middle of February, so we're getting to that point. So did you get a chance to see who the leaders are votes wise so far?
I think Kevin Durant. LeBron.
Yep. So you got for the West Coast, you got LeBron. Yep, you got LeBron number 1 in the front court, and you got Steph Curry number 1 in the guards in the West Coast, and then in the Eastern Conference, you got Kevin Durant number 1 forwards, and then Kyrie number 1 in guards. So those are the number 1 vote getters. So up and down the list, are you seeing? Obviously, this is fan voting, but do you think anything looks?
Alexander's pretty high for the OKC.
Who did you say was high?
Shai Alexander.
Shai SGA. Don't think he's high. Okay. Well, it's okay. So who? Well, I mean, you got Russell Westbrook is number 6.
That's interesting.
Number 6. He's got fans, I guess.
He got more votes than Kawhi Leonard.
I know. You got more votes. Got more votes than Damian Lillard. Yeah, more than Devin Booker. Guy's not even a starter. You got more votes than Devin Booker.
How Julius Randle? Yes. He only got 200. Julius Randle. I hope he don't make it.
Oh, I see. Here you go. Hey, dog.
How Anthony Davis?
They'll vote for him, and he'll be.
He got 6 million votes.
Right. They'll vote. He'll get voted in, and then he'll be sitting on the bench with a suit. So now I did. So okay. So you said you're not feeling Julius Randle being number 10, but some people say that. So okay. So do you think that say Jalen Brunson deserves to be in it over Julius Randle, or do you think neither one of them?
That's a tough one. That might be a push.
Okay. Yeah, flip a coin. 50-50, flip a coin. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be a push.
All right. So we could go through it real quick and just see. Okay. So let's see. Obviously this is just fan voting, and it can fluctuate, right? Because there's still some time for them to vote, I believe, and then you have the other votes that have to come in besides the fan vote. So you got LeBron, Jokic, Anthony Davis, Zion, Wiggins, Paul George, Lauri Markkanen, Draymond, Kevin Looney, and Kawhi Leonard. So is anybody on that front court for the West Coast you think should be up or down?
Repeat that again. Kawhi Leonard, who else?
So you had Kawhi's 10, Kevin Looney is 9, Draymond is 8, Lauri Markkanen is 7, Paul George 6, Wiggins from Golden State at number 5, Zion number 4, Anthony Davis number 3, Jokic number 2, and LeBron number 1.
Why is Draymond there?
So why is he on the period?
Mm-hmm.
He's popular.
Mm-hmm.
He's popular.
Well, I was looking. Jalen Brunson is averaging 20 and 6, and he's not even on there, right?
Yeah, not even on there.
And Derrick Rose is number 9 amongst the East point guards, averaging 5.8. Averaging 12.9 minutes and 5.8.
Because that's the New York fans. They love him. They love him. They love him. They're good guy. Good guy. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
I'm surprised Jordan Poole is not higher. He's number 10 amongst guards. He's
Right.
averaging 20.
Yep. All right. So we could go to the guards. So you got so we'll start at number 10. You got De'Aaron Fox, you got Austin Reeves from the Lakers, Devin Booker, number 8. I think that's kind of low.
Very low.
Damian Lillard at number 7, Russell Westbrook at 6. I mean, what are we doing here? Clay Thompson, number 5, SGA from OKC at number 4, Ja Morant at 3. I think that's valid. Luka at number 2, even though he's having an incredible year, but he's number 2, and Steph Curry number 1. So, what are your thoughts on that West Coast guards list? Anybody should be up or down? I think you said SGA should be lower.
Maybe. I think Booker should be higher than
Yeah, I agree. I would say at the very least you should flip flop those. Put SGA at number 8 and move Devin Booker up to 4.
He should be higher than Klay Thompson.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah. I think that's an easy flip flop. You could put 4 and 8 SGA and Devin Booker. Okay, all right. So then you got East Coast front court. You got number 10. You got Randall. You're not feeling that. You got Nick Claxton from Brooklyn at number 9. Paolo, the rookie, at number 8. Okay. Kyle Kuzma, number 7.
That's surprising.
Okay. Pascal Siakam from Toronto at number 6. Jimmy Butler, number 5. Embiid at number 4. I mean, that's tough in that. Yeah. I mean, you got Embiid at 4. And then you got Jason Tatum at 3, Giannis at 2, and Durant at 1. That's a tough list from once you get that top 4. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. I mean, obviously Durant is number 1, but I mean, but I mean, even I might not say that, but I mean, Giannis. I mean, come on, man. And then Jason Tatum too. Tatum. I mean, and then Embiid.
Embiid comes off the bench.
If as of now, yeah. If I mean, again, this is just the fan voting. The fan voting is a big part of it, but then you have I believe.
Well, they still got to draft them, though, right?
Right. You have the draft piece, and then the media votes, and I think like you said, the player selection plays a part in it too. All right. And then East Coast guards. So number 10, you got Darius Garland. Number 10, yep, from Cleveland. Like we said, Derrick Rose at number 9. You got Tyrese Halliburton from Indiana. Indiana's been picking it up lately. They're in the power rankings now. Number 10, LaMelo Ball, number 7. DeMar DeRozan, number 6. You got Trae Young at 5. Sorry, got Trae Young at 5. You got Jaylen Brown at number 4. Right, James Harden at number 3. Donovan Mitchell, number 2, and Kyrie at number 1.
That's a good list. I would just swap out Derrick Rose. For what's your dude name?
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Give him some
good. I'm surprised Kyrie is number 1.
I mean, he's I mean, listen, he's popular. You know what I mean?
He's been balling.
He has been.
I think he's back.
Brooklyn's balling.
Yeah.
Brooklyn's balling. I mean, yeah, it's he's getting back to form, and listen, what kind of how they envisioned it happening. I mean, obviously they had Harden before, and who knows what they thought they were getting with my man from Philly. What's his name?
Simmons.
Yeah, Ben Simmons. Who knows what they thought they were getting? But I mean, now they're starting to get there, and Jacques Vaughn doing a good job with them. So it's yeah.
Golden State got 5 people in the top 10.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Lakers got 3.
Yeah, they got 3.
Clippers. Yep, Clippers with 2. Yep.
Philly got 2. Boston got 2.
Yeah, Boston got 2. Brooklyn has 2. Boston. That's pretty much it. And Cleveland's got 2. Cleveland's got 2.
In the top 10.
Yep. Yeah. So, well, yeah. So that's pretty good. So that's the NBA All-Star voting as it stands right now, and it'll continue to fluctuate a little bit. We'll see if some guys move up or move down, and then when the other votes come in, so that's always a good time, All-Star weekend. So where is it this year? I didn't see.
Utah.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's right there on the graphic. Yep. Okay. All right. So wow, yeah. So good show today, man. Glad to be back, and good time. And we hashed it out. We'll see how your predictions go for this weekend of football, and we'll check in next week to follow up to see how we did. So on behalf of Tyler, this is Coach Matt, live by the 3 Sports Podcast on the Evening Rush Network, signing off, and we'll catch y'all next week. Have a good night and good weekend.
Good night.
Peace.